lecture, we are going to learn about what is known as DHCP or Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. So what is this Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol? So when you are on a LAN, so you are on a LAN and you turn your computer on. So at that time, this computer does not know its IP address. So if you want to connect to the internet, you should have your IP address. I should know my network prefix. I should know the default gateway router, to which I have to send my packets for sending it to the internet. Then I need to know the name server. So what is my name server? So from which I will know that, if I have to contact google.com, what is its IP address, and so on. So Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol is the one which provides, so it's a server which provides IP address to your machine on a LAN or a group of machines. So it's an automatic process. So what happens in our lab, I used to see, is that if you are doing a manual configuration, let's say 100 machines are there in your lab, and some administrator is doing some manual configuration. So what will happen, somehow if we give the same IP address, let's say 172.17.6.7 to 2 or more machines, then they will have a conflict and none of them will work. So it's important that we have an automatic process where a computer handles all this. So we will see first static address allocation, that was done manual configuration. This is dynamic address allocation. So if a machine comes up, so we have to give it an IP address which is unique among all the computers. So then it talks about manual and automatic configuration and how it proceeds. What is the packet format, what is the transition states and exchanging messages, that we will see. It's very interesting topic. So first and foremost, DHCP provides static and dynamic address allocation that can be manual or automatic. So when a computer comes up, so it wants an IP address that will be allocated by your DHCP server. It says it can be static. It means when it knows that this is the MAC address, so whenever your computer comes up, it will be assigned the same IP address, then it is static. Dynamic, the same computer when it came up, it might be assigned 100 something like 172.16.6.5. Next time when it was shut down and it comes up, it might be assigned 172.16.6.8. So it's not necessary that one particular machine will always be assigned the same IP address. But in static IP address scheme, it will always, one machine with one NIC will always be assigned the same static address. It can be manual, it can be automatic. So DHCP, so you provide IP address, it can be manual, it might lead to conflicts and so on, but automatic you can see, so it will be better. Now let's try to see what is a DHCP packet. So then we will understand. So a packet is a communication. This is what we write in a kind of letter if we were sending. So what fields we write. So we write, first thing is operation code, that this will tell that I'm a computer that comes up, I will send a DHCP request. So operation code will have two things. Is it a request code or a reply code? So when I'm sending that, please DHCP server give me the IP address, then it is request. Hardware type, like is it Ethernet, hardware length, hop count, what is the maximum number of hops that my packet can travel, transaction ID. So when a machine comes up and it is talking to the DHCP server, they will have for the communication one particular transaction ID that will help identify that particular communication. So there is a server, many clients, let's say there was a power shutdown, many computer comes up. All the computers, in fact, they will come up again and they are asking for IP address from this server. Now how will they differentiate these communications? So they have different transaction IDs. So 1001, this might have 255, this is 366 and 254. So they all have their communication which has different transaction ID. Number of second tells us that, okay, when I'm allocating you the IP address, the DHCP server, how much time will be it allocated for. So it says 3600 seconds. Okay, so this means divided by 60, those many minutes I will give you the IP address. Client IP address, initially when I will send a request, I will not know. Okay, I will not know that, okay, which is my IP address. I will not fill it. This field is your IP address. When the server is giving you an IP address, it will be filled here. Server IP address, this is the IP address of the DHCP server. Okay, and then gateway IP address, this is about the gateway router. When I'm coming up on a network, I should also not just know which is the DHCP server, what is my IP address. I should also know, okay, what is the IP address of the default gateway router, so that if I'm sending the packets to internet outside, then where should I send my packet to? So it should be to the default gateway. And the server name, boot file name, it provides other things, okay, that you might need, and options, okay, that we will see. So what are the DHCP message type? So DHCP discover is the first one. Okay, so where what happens, a computer sends a broadcast message. So I just turn up, I don't know any IP address whatsoever, so I will broadcast, okay, so everyone, hey, all of you, I'm sending a request, please assign me some IP address. Okay, so all of the people will hear, but only the person who knows how to assign an IP address, that will be your DHCP server. He tells that, okay, I am the one who will assign you. So I broadcasted, I requested to everyone, but the person who can allocate me is DHCP server. He will send me a reply back, okay, telling that, okay, this is your IP address and so on. So this reply, that is the reply for the broadcast message, is DHCP offer. Okay, now they will send that, okay, the server will send, okay, this is your IP address, this is the time for which I'm allocating you this IP address, this is your DNS name server, the name server, and so on. And if there are more than one DHCP server, so you might get more than one offer. Okay, then you are going to decide whose offer I'm going to take, whose IP address. So then when I decide that, I will send the DHCP request to that particular server that I'm taking your IP address. But this will also be a broadcast message, so that other DHCP server whose address I'm not taking, they also know that, okay, I'm not taking their address. This is there, I am choosing one DHCP server's address, and that DHCP server might decline it because he might have given that IP address to someone else during that period. Okay, then he might decline. Okay, DHCP act that, okay, I'm ready to give that IP address. DHCP NAC, okay, DHCP release. Release is that, okay, I'm done with this IP address, I don't need any communication, I'm releasing. So let's try to see these things. So there is a client. Okay, so the DHCP client, it comes up and it starts the DHCP client at port number 68. Okay, so it's not a random port, you should understand. Most of the clients, we choose a random port number, but here it's 68. Okay, we will know why it is. So it will send a discover message. It's a broadcast. Okay, to everyone on my LAN, I will send that, okay, please tell me that, okay, what IP address I should choose, and this is the server. So this server will now, each one of them gets this message, but the server replies back, okay, that, okay, I'm sending you an offer, and DHCP server runs at port number 67. So the broadcast message goes to everyone. Let's say there were two servers. So now both of them sees this broadcast message request. They reply you with some IP addresses and offer. So it comes to this client, and now he has got two offers. Okay, so you take an IP address 172.6.8.5, and another one sends 172.6.8.21. Now it is up to him to decide whose IP address I should take. So he decides for this one, let's say, and then he sends a DHCP request. This again is a broadcast message, okay, again a broadcast, so that this person knows that okay, I'm choosing his IP address allocation and not his. So both of them this message will go. In fact it will go to everyone, but both of them will know okay, this my is not selected, and he will know that his is selected. So now what happens, that person will reply, this server will reply to this machine that okay, DHCP ACK, so I have given you permission to use that particular IP address. And along with that it also sends the, so one is IP address, what is your IP address, then the IP address of the name server, then I will send you the default router gateway. Okay, so these are the things I need to send you. Now what happens, I'm using it, and let's say he had allocated this IP address for 3600 seconds. So after 50% of the time expires, okay, so by 60, so how much is this? So 30 minutes, after 30 minutes I see that okay, my lease is expiring, so I will send a DHCP request again. If the server does not respond, the request is repeated. If the server responds with NAK, the client then what he does, again start a DHCP request and so on. Okay, so this goes on, and DHCP release is for I am now not using this particular IP address. Okay, I am going now. So these are there. So this is just showing that operation again. So DHCP discover, so there is a DHCP client, it has a MAC address 00A02471E444. It sends a DHCP discover, it goes to this machine because it's a broadcast message. It goes to both the DHCP servers. Now both of them send their offer that okay, you are being assigned this IP address, this IP address. Now it is up to this particular machine. Okay, so DHCP offer is sent by both of them. This machine now decides which one to take. So DHCP request, it sends to this server that okay, I'm taking choosing your IP address. This is also a broadcast. So he will say okay, so this one will get that okay, I'm not choosing yours. This will know that okay, he is choosing mine IP address, and then he will send an ACK that okay, it is fine. So then renewing leasing. Okay, so what happens now? So after he sees that okay, the time is expiring, 50% has expired, he will send a DHCP server, he sends a request. Okay, if DHCP server what he does, if he sends a NAK, then the address is released. Okay, so if the DHCP server sends a NAK, if he requests for a renewal and he sends a NAK, then what will happen, this will be released. Okay, so IP address will be released. But if he sends an ACK, then it is fine, I can again use it, it is renewed. Okay, now DHCP release. So at this time the DHCP client has released the IP address, so I'm shutting down or whatever, so I do a DHCP release, I'm not using your IP address. And this is the state transition diagram. So I'm just booting up, so I'm in the initializing state. Okay, I've just started. I will send now so these are the states. Okay, what state I'm in now, state machine, and some events are happening because of which I will go to other states. So from initial state I send a DHCP discover message. Now I go to a selecting state. Okay, so I will get, if there are two servers, I get DHCP offers from both of them, and when I receive the offer still I am in selecting state. Okay, then when I have selected and I send a DHCP request to the server to which I chose the address, I will go to the requesting state. Okay, to find okay, so if the server gives me an ACK, I go to bound state, that okay, now I have got an IP address and now I'm functioning properly, I'm talking to all people on the internet. Okay, then I find that okay, the time has, the lease for which he has given me, if it is expiring, 50% of the time has passed, I will send a DHCP request for renewal. If I get an ACK, I will again go to the bound state. But if he sends me a NACK, okay, so what will happen, and DHCP request 87.5% of time has, now what happened, it has expired, so I will be in a rebinding state. Okay, and then what happens, if I get a NACK, then what will happen, I have my lease expired, so I will go to the initial state and again I will send a DHCP discover message to all the servers. But if I get an ACK, I will go to the bound state again. From this bound state, if I myself or a node itself decides to go away, it will send a DHCP release. Okay, and then lease is cancelled, he will go to the initial state. Okay, so this is there for your DHCP transition diagram. So you know now what is happening in the DHCP server. Okay, that basically the client. And now one thing that was left is we use port 68 for our client. And why not any random port? Why? Because let's say there was a daytime server. Okay, daytime server was running on port 1567. Our DHCP server was also running on 1567. Then what happens, I send a request. Okay, and then the packet, when it comes for the DHCP offer, that is also a broadcast. Okay, because now when the machine had asked for its IP address, still it does not know what is its IP address will be assigned. So the DHCP offer is also a broadcast message. So if it is sent at port number 1567 to all people, then what will happen, daytime server will also get confused that what message it is getting, because it was expecting time reply and it will be getting some DHCP reply, so it might get confused. So it's always port number 68 that will know that okay, if this message is coming at 68, it will be a DHCP reply. Now you might ask that okay, let's say there was a shutdown, power shutdown, all machines starts at the same time. So now what will happen, all of them will send the request together. So how will this reply be taken? Okay, so now that's why there is a transaction ID. Okay, so all of them sends request, but let's say 3 machines were there, they all send a DHCP request to the server, but when the broadcast reply will come to port 68, then the transaction ID will be different for all these. Okay, so that's how they will find their IP addresses. So I hope you understand this DHCP. Thanks.